I'm William Shatner. I've done a lot of things in my career, but this takes the cake. This is so cool. You, Joseph, today, it's all about you. You won the internet. Congratulations. It's exciting. It makes me want to celebrate. Makes me want to get up out of this chair. Makes me want to sing. Makes me want to dance. Makes me want to shout. Kick my heels up. Throw my hands up. Toss my head back. No, really, people should be shouting your name in the street.
Come on now, sing that name.
Sing that song.
Joseph,
Sing it out loud.
Joseph.
I want to celebrate. Put it up in lights.
The internet belongs to you.
No one else deserves to be celebrated like you because you are the best.
Joseph Jaffe is not famous. I'm kind of, but I'm Ross, you know. Jaffe is nothing more than a zombie extra, you know. Joseph Jaffe is not famous.
Woody hoo!
Woody hoo! Out here in the stream, as in the streaming era, I fight for my dreams. I get my heart into my living.
You encourage drinking or marijuana use on the show?
I don't need a fight, cause Evelyn's right. Or you could sponsor an emu. I'm Batman.
That's your tweetable moment, folks. That's your tweetable moment. If Mark Zuckerberg makes a metaverse, is that Web3? No, it's Mark Zuckerberg's metaverse.
He's like us. He's flawed.
Just a little segue.
That's some dope shit, dude. That's really, really nice.
Woody hoo!
Woody hoo! Yes. April 20th. I see my little Second Life figurine, Devo Dapto, up there in one of the shelves. Have you ever noticed that on the shelves are kind of like a tribute, a testament to my life, past, present, future? At some point, we're going to start putting little Easter eggs on the shelves, maybe actually real Easter eggs. And who knows, when you identify them or when you solve a puzzle or a challenge, a treasure hunt, you might just get Jaffe coin. Actually, if you're smart, you'll trade that Jaffe coin for Ali coin because you want to be able to, you want to become, well, maybe you can do 50-50. But we're going to talk about my guest. I'm just thrilled that she's in the studio. I've been waiting a long time to hang out with her. Brian Piper is here. He said, love the shelves, interested in all the stories. There are many, many stories. Maybe from time to time, I'll just pick something off the shelf and tell you a little bit about it. But it really is a little a smorgasbord, a plethora of tchotchkes, if you like. Saying hello to a few other people. Testing, 1, 2, 3. And Alexander Finden says, you got this, clearly referring to my very special guest. Of course, she is actually a speaker at the upcoming Creator Economy Expo. And today's episode is brought to you by the Creator Economy Expo. You'll have a chance to meet, to hear from some of the most dynamic creators out there. For example, not just today's guest, Ali Straza, but also Daniel Pink. And we're doing a little bit of scheduling, juggling. He might be on the show tomorrow. He might be on the show Monday, but we'll make it happen. Just watch the space. And actually, if you're in the Not Famous Discord, my Not Famous Discord, you will always know not only when we have a show change or a new guest, but sometimes we do pre-tapings, and you have an opportunity to actually join and be a part of those pre-tapings. Very small, very intimate. It's an unlisted YouTube URL, and you're invited to be part of the conversation. Now, as you know, on Fridays we have NFT Fridays. I am pushing this week big time tomorrow. No, not tomorrow, Friday. I thought maybe today was Thursday. We've got the folks over from Tribe X. They launched their collection about 3.5 weeks ago, and 400 ETH was stolen from them in a malicious attack. Instead of rolling over and playing dead and running away, they decided to stay and fight. They've just relaunched. And so we'll hear the story, the vision, the journey, the roadmap behind TribeX NFT, but also the story behind the story, which is what happens when, founders are so committed to a project that nothing is going to stop them from seeing it through to fruition. Also, on Friday, we'll do a drawing for Ali Sabet's, one of his NFTs. What an incredibly talented artist he is. I'm telling you that I'm going to start. This is my show, so I get to make the rules. So I'm going to actually enter the drawing as well. Damn it! If you can win, so can I. But that drawing will be on Friday. And if you actually want to enter all of these NFT drawings, just go to the giveaways channel on my Discord. That's bit.ly/NotFamousDiscord, and join the Discord and just put in your credentials. Actually, what I ask people to do, which I don't think is a huge ask, is just to subscribe to the show. And you can do that by going to bit.ly/subscribe to the show. That will take you right away to YouTube. So there you go. Now, it is time for the seated soliloquy. Alexander Finden is excited. He wants the queen. You're going to get the queen, the red queen. She is going to be on the show soon. But first, my seated soliloquy. And the seated soliloquy today is called Never Ending Story. Now, I was trying to think of the right music for Never Ending Story. So I have a few things. I have what I call deep. This is deep. Sounds kind of deep-ish. Then this one is called smolder, depending on my mood. And then, I don't know why, but I call this one snarky. I was thinking of, never-ending story. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Stop singing. So I think I'm going to go with deep. And I'll tell you why. So why is it called Never Ending Story? Because today when Ali comes on the show, we're going to talk about Coachella, and we're going to talk about the keys to Coachella. We're going to talk about this idea of a never-ending ticket. It's also quite appropriate because Joe Polizzi, who is the founder of CX, the conference that Ali's going to be speaking at twice, I might add, and the conference that I'm going to be at as well, he also released never-ending tickets. And I was thinking about this, and this is a real glimpse into the future of business, something that I know that Ali also thinks about, as do I, which is new business models. Right? This isn't just about currency. This isn't just about technology, the whole Web3, the whole blockchain world. It's actually about a new way to operate, a new way to monetize, a new way to engage, a new way to share ownership, share decision-making, share rewards as well. And we'll talk about play-to-earn gaming as well. And I was thinking, could this be the new model, the never-ending ticket, the never-ending story, the ability to say for a select few, whether it's something you earn, something you win, something you pay for, something you trade for, that this becomes the way that the truly loyal, the super fans, are recognized or awarded, or actually say, hey, I'm with you for life. See, here's the thing. One of the things in marketing, the holy grail that everyone talks about, is lifetime value of the customer. Except no one can really work it out. No one can really calculate it. No one can really, and most people aren't even around in their jobs long enough to be able to realize and see a customer that is there for life. Quite frankly, customers oftentimes outlast and outsurvive the actual marketers or the executives trying to serve them, sometimes even the brands, right? The companies that are closing down. But if we really do believe in loyalty, if we do believe in 1,000 true fans, then should we be issuing these never-ending tickets? One that actually says you can keep this forever. Quite frankly, pass it on to your kids as well. That, to me, is the new North Star. That is what we all should be aiming for. And by the way, even if it's aspirational, that's okay. But at least what that star does is it shines the way forward. It helps us triangulate. It helps us navigate. It gives us a path to pursue. The never-ending ticket, the never-ending key, the never-ending story, the never-ending show. You might feel that this is the never-ending soliloquy, but I assure you that it is ending very, very soon. As long as you stay loyal to me, I will make sure that I transition quickly to my very special guest. And of course, that guest is Ali Straza. And a little bit about her. You know what? You don't want to see my face. Make it a little bit bigger. How about that? Ali is a content creator, a gamer, a Web3 enthusiast. She started streaming card games on Twitch 6 years ago under the gaming persona Alliestrasza. She was also one of the first people to launch her social token on the Rally platform, the Ali coin. And of course, you know that I have the Jaffe coin. The two of us are actually sitting very comfortably right now in the top 10 in terms of support. So thank you on behalf of Ali and myself. She's really passionate about innovating in the creator economy through new verticals in Web3. And I'm so happy that we get a chance to chat. Ali, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. That was such a good introduction, and I love the soliloquy. It was brilliant. So yes, happy to be here. Thank you.
You are welcome. Mason is here, and Mason says,
Ali, listen.
Yeah, exactly. And also he says, let's go.
There's Alex, yes.
Huh?
There's Alex saying, let's go.
Brilliant. Oh, true. Did I said, sorry, Alexander Finden. You're like,
yes.
Mason, you can also say, let's go if you like. Henry Thorpe is here, and he said, a wild Ali appealed.
I got all my homies in the chat right now.
Yeah, Mason did say that's exactly how I said it too. Now, of course, we know that in the Web3 space, sometimes we say, let's go. I think I just got
LFG. That's what you say.
LFG. I just censored myself. Now, one of the things that we do on the show, that I do actually, Ali, every single show, is I give away Jaffe coin.
Oh, brilliant.
And there's a QR code which is going to magically appear above your head about now. Yeah, exactly.
There we go.
And the thing that's interesting about that QR code is that it's only live while the show is live. So I've basically said it that if you're watching it, you know, in a day, a week, a month, a year's time, you're still going to get all the benefit of the content, but you're not going to get Jaffe coin. But I did something else, or I do something else. I gate it. So normally you have to hold 10 Jaffe coin in order to get back typically about 0.1 Jaffe coin. But I did something else today, which is in order to get the Jaffe coin, you need to hold 1 Ali coin.
Oh,
so it's all connected back to you. So if you want to get your Jaffe today, you're going to have to make sure, and why wouldn't you, have 1 Ali coin to get a little bit of Jaffe. And it's just my way of spreading the love through the Rally Creator Network.
Love that. Yeah, creators supporting creators, love it. And that's a really good idea, by the way. I might have to steal that QR code. That's a good one.
You should. I mean, the idea of steal this idea is it's one of the best. I mean, first of all, they say imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, but I've really learned this through this period, which is when you actually practice this idea that there is no competition, only cooperation, only collaboration. It's actually kind of like liberating, to be honest.
I love that attitude, honestly. And yes, and thank you again for including Ali into that. It's very cool.
Absolutely. In fact, Sven van Herk has already secured his 0.1 Jaffe. You know what? I might have to, I think I only put a limit of 15. So what I might have to do is while you're telling your story, I might have to change that and extend to your wonderful community, I don't know, 40, 50, as many people as want to take advantage. I'm happy to do it as well.
Oh, love that. Thanks for everyone for showing up. I definitely have some of my long-term community members in, so I'm happy to see them here.
Yeah, that's awesome, and it's it's also great to meet and cross pollinate and introduce one community to another. Now, the thing about you, Ali, is that you are somewhat of an open book when it comes
Yes.
to your community, and I mean, people see you for hours on end when you're streaming on Twitch. So when I asked you to indicate some fun facts or some interesting facts, you were like, "Look, I can try and provide some, but pretty much they know everything about me." For example, they know that I'm a little clumsy despite doing ballet for many years. So this wouldn't come as a surprise to
Yeah.
them, basically, about your clumsiness. Have you ever demonstrated your clumsiness while streaming, like knocking over a cup of
Uh,
coffee or?
oh, yes. I think I've had multiple instances where I've spilled coffee on my keyboard and I have to do like a quick flip of the keyboard. Um, that hasn't happened in a while, I will say. But generally speaking, yes, I'm a little clumsy. They know the story of me falling off the stage at the last tournament that I competed in my game. That was not my finest moment, but yeah, it's not a good one.
By the way, while you were doing that, I've updated. I've updated now the QR code to 50, so 50 people can
Oh,
take
brilliant.
advantage of it. And if I need to, I'll do 500. I don't care, uh, because it benefits both of us, and so that's a good thing. All right, so clumsy Ali, we know all about that. But how many people know about your obsession and and the role that tennis has played in your life? I'm sure your entire community does. But have they ever seen this photo of you
Oh, that this
being?
is like private files. How'd you get this
I know.
photo?
Can you believe it?
Wow.
And can you see why I failed Photoshop when I took the course?
No, this looks completely real.
Yes, completely real. In fact, many times in your life with definitely super large male human hands. Um,
Yes.
We ran out of time. I was getting my physical this morning. So what else? What else do people know about? Well, this is more important stuff. I think the fact that your name, your and and I want to even ask the story, right, about this idea of, here we know that it comes from a character from World of Warcraft, Alex Straza. You love dragons. Your favorite color is red, and this character is the Dragon Queen, and you loved it so much you took on the persona. Anything you want to add to the story as we actually see the real Dragon Queen over here? You're not you're not the mother of dragons. You're the red dragon.
Yes.
Tell us about this evolution, and also just like the role that Ali Straza like. Did you become Ali Straza? Like I was even saying to you, do I call you
Mm.
Ali? Do I call you Ali Straza? You know, yesterday on the show, I had Luria Petrucci, and she told a very honest and a very vulnerable story about Callie Lewis and how she took on a persona and then had to kind of almost destroy that persona in order to retain her identity. So I'd love to hear the evolution of this in your words, and the role that it plays in your life today.
Yeah, that's a really good question. And perhaps there is a little bit of you know, when I'm Ali Straza, I'm more like my performative self, and it's I wouldn't say it's completely an alter ego. I wouldn't go that far, but it definitely is like stepping into the character, the performer. I always say when you're streaming, it's really a performance. You're entertaining people, and yeah. So I found out about this character back in 2015, and I fell in love. Like, I read the description of her character on the WoW Wikipedia page, which is the World of Warcraft wiki, and she just embodied a lot of the qualities that I would want. Like, she's called the life binder, and she's sort of the queen of the red, or of all the dragon flights, and she's sort of like this like beacon of hope and light for the you know world of Azeroth. And my name is actually Alexandra. So Alliestrasza, Alexandra. Alexandra means protector of mankind. And I just was like, oh, this is so cool. And yeah, it really just it was meant to be. It blossomed, and it's forever changed my life. And it's ironic, but yesterday I watched the trailer for the new expansion of WoW, which I did not play WoW, by the way. I only played Hearthstone, which is the card game of WoW. But the new trailer came out of the new expansion that's all based around dragons, and Alliestrasza is the main character of the trailer. And I cried, and it wasn't even an emotional trailer, really. It's just the fact that that character means so much to me. It's like forever changed my life, that I decided to embody this, and dragons have become all about, or my branding has become all about dragons. And I mean, I love fantasy and science fiction and all these mystical themes. So yeah, it's really, it's a part of me now. And it's crazy to think that a character from a story can become so much a part of your life.
It's amazing.
So,
I,
yeah.
I actually didn't think about it that way. That essentially the character, which became a persona, which became an avatar as well, actually changed your life.
It changed my life, and that's why I cried yesterday. It wasn't even that emotional of a trailer, but it just holds so much significance for me. And I can get very sentimental and emotional, and yeah, so it's very cool.
Well, I'll the last time, I mean, maybe not the last time, but I don't want you to think that I'm a cold-hearted, but I'll tell you about a movie that I cried in,
Okay.
which connects back to science fiction, which connects back to everything. But I was flying back from Europe, I think, and there was a movie. It was called Click with
Mm,
William Shatner and Adam Sandler. And basically, he gets a magic remote control. And what starts to happen is he can pause. He can pause real life, and he starts to fast forward, like when he has a fight with his wife or the kids are acting
okay.
up. And then the remote learns his behavior and starts to fast forward through his entire life. And before he knows it, his kids have all grown up and he's missed their life. And I am crying so loud and so uncontrollably that they were almost, it was like a scene from that movie Airplane. They were like, so you need to calm down, otherwise the marshal is coming over.
Wow.
um so from William Shatner to William Shatner opening today's show, which I did in your honor because it's a bit of sci-fi,
Yes.
to and did you, I don't know if you're a Walking Dead fan, but that was Ross Marquand from The Walking Dead.
I watched a couple of maybe a few seasons, but I did not recognize the character, but I did know it was from Walking Dead, so I could infer. So I did not see his seasons, I don't think.
Mason also cried at Click, and he hardly cries at movies. Yeah, I mean that's the essence, right, Ali, about this idea of living our lives, being in the moment, being
Mhm.
present, as opposed to wishing it away.
Absolutely. Yeah. Poof, living in the present moment. I feel like oftentimes we're uh sort of living in anticipation of peak experiences. The I'm leaving for Coachella tomorrow, and I've been thinking about it. I'm so excited, but or CEX. I'm very excited for CEX in a couple weeks as well. So I think it can be normal for humans to anticipate these peak experiences and sort of forget about the in between time. But life really is the in between time. It's the present moment, and the more that you're centered there, I think. Um, Generally, the happier you're probably going to be.
I love that. I love this concept of the in between time,
Mhm.
where almost like whether it's the stream, the performance, the keynote, it's just the gravy, right? It's the
Yes.
added, it's this idea that that, as they say, success is a journey, not a destination, right? So the
Yeah.
journey is the in between. The well done, you made it. Ali Coin's #1, or my show, Joseph Jaffe is Not Famous, has been picked up by a network. Um, it can be anticlimactic if you didn't, I think, make the most of the in between time, I suppose.
Absolutely. And, you know, I feel like sometimes we can say, "Oh, I love the idea of being an
Right.
actress, right? But do I actually really love acting? Like it, it's like you sometimes want the recognition or you want the end result, but if you don't love the process, then it's probably going to lead to unhappiness. So,
And the work, right? And if
and the
you're not,
work, yeah,
and if you're not prepared to do the work, the hard,
yeah,
the hard work. Let me ask you a question.
I'm ready.
All right. So no, I was just like suddenly I'm looking at my screen, which completely froze, and I was like, "Can you still see me? Am I still moving?"
You are still moving on my end, so you're good.
Okay, that's never happened before. Which is tell people that don't know any better about Twitch and about
Mhm.
specifically this idea that of gamers and these long almost endless streams and what's really happening here and what the magic is behind Twitch.
Definitely the magic behind Twitch is the interaction. Like it's a very different experience of watching a content creator that you like a lot on YouTube and leaving a comment as opposed to watching that content creator live and having a full-on conversation with them. Obviously, it depends on the size of the streamer. The people who have 20,000 plus people watching, it's probably a little bit harder to get that personal interaction, but it's just there's something about the live aspect of it all that is so enticing. But yeah, so basically, you can stream yourself doing anything. Twitch is mostly video games. And yeah, I stream myself playing whatever game, and my chat responds to exciting moments. I ask them questions, they answer. Recently, I've really loved doing just chatting. That's a category on Twitch as well, where you literally just get up like this in front of the camera and you have that interaction with your community. And I honestly think that that is one of the reasons why um, my community, as well as other Twitch creators on the Rally platform, are actually pretty dedicated, is because there is something about the nature of that live interaction that I feel like really builds strong like allegiance or just a sense of closeness. And so I feel very fortunate to have had a great community that's been incredibly supportive over me over the course of 6 years. And perhaps I would have gotten that if I just went the YouTube route, maybe, or all the different, platforms. But I'm very thankful to Twitch for that. And it certainly can be. Streaming to me is quite draining. Even though I enjoy it and I love having that interaction with my community, there are some people who can stream for 10 to 12 hours and I'm just like, how do you guys do it? And it's probably because I feel like I give 110% of my energy when I am streaming. But yeah, it's like hours on end of being in front of an audience, which is very different than other social media avenues, I guess.
Yeah, it seems sometimes that I remember during the the early days when with YouTube, with Twitter, that you would even Second Life, you'd have a lot of you'd have a lot of brands that wouldn't get it and journalists that wouldn't get it, and they would
Mm.
say things like, "I don't care that someone had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich for lunch," with respect to Twitter, or like, why would anyone want to watch two people running into a brick wall or something like that with respect to YouTube? What they didn't understand and they couldn't understand was that it wasn't about the production value. It wasn't
Mm.
about this is not professional content. This is amateur hour. In fact, something that I even wrote in one of my books is that production is the new consumption. That for creators, we are actually consuming when we produce. We are
Mm.
actually getting value and utility and enjoyment from the act and the art of creation, etc.
I love
And
that.
and so, well, thank you. And so, like with Twitch, it's almost like sometimes this idea of the longer the stream, it's almost a sense of having a friend, of being always on, ever present, that you can jump in and jump out. Even the show today, it's like, I think, well, should the show be 10 minutes? Should be 5 minutes? Should be an hour? Should I follow Howard Stern and make it 5 hours? And that's what's happening, right, with Twitch, with Clubhouse, with with spaces is that people, you jump in and you jump out and you stay as long as you want. And I feel like that's kind of, there's a familiarity and a kind of a softness and a kindness about that.
Yes, absolutely. You definitely feel, I think, someone becomes a part of your routine. If they are streaming, Monday through Friday during your lunch break and you always go to them for your lunch, like there's definitely a significant connection there. I've done 3 24-hour streams. I think 3,
Oh
maybe
my
4.
goodness.
I think
Wow.
3. Yeah, in my life. And it was always so funny because people would come in and say, "Oh, I went to bed and Allie's still on," And so there's something to say about like that. Yeah, you can tune in at any time. I mean, that is not a regular thing. Those are very hard to do. And yeah, I don't know if I would completely recommend them because it kind of messes you up a little bit, but they're a good time and it gives people all over the world the opportunity to catch you live.
Does that mean that you actually didn't sleep at all?
I did not sleep at all. Yes. Full 24 hours in front of the camera. I mean, I would probably take a 10-minute break here and there just to either eat or, recoup. But they're fun and they're a good way to grow your stream because people generally get so passionate to support you on the journey. But health-wise, like probably
Not good.
I don't know how much I want to promote the idea because like I said, it does mess you up a little bit. So
Don't
yeah.
do this at home.
Don't do this at home, guys. Yeah.
I did pick up a very interesting, I guess, learning there, which is this idea of sometimes you have to establish yourself. Maybe you've got to do something, maybe not outlandish, but that was like a tentpole moment for you. I think maybe it was you've done it and now you can triangulate against it. It's almost like a commitment, like an initiation,
Yeah.
which is I've done it. I'm not going to do it again. We'll do something else this time. But I must say, I think I've got 5 followers on Twitch. I definitely have no business. I only added it to my channels just because I could.
Right. Yeah.
But I fear, I revere, I respect, I admire, and there's no one better at it than the Queen herself. So thank you for that little thank you for that primer.
There you go.
So I want to segue into the conversation about Web3 and specifically Coachella, right?
Yeah.
Because you saw my soliloquy was about this idea of the never ending. You actually got one of the 10 never end. Did you buy it? Were you given it? Did you find it? Tell us about what Coachella is doing in terms of
Yes.
immersing themselves in Web3.
Yeah, so Coachella, it's a music and arts festival here in California. And I think it's probably the biggest festival in America, and my favorite that I've gone to over the past 5 years of my life. And they're one of the first music festivals to really embrace Web3. So basically what they've done is they had 10 Coachella keys that were the premium keys that give you lifetime access to the festival with VIP tickets as well as other perks. There were different things. Like one gave you front and center viewing to whatever act you want at this stage, the main stage or another stage, dinner in the Rose Garden. You get a experience of a comped meal. The one that we Mason, my partner, and I got was key to the producers. So we are actually going to get a producer's tour of the festival, or from one of the producers. And so those are the keys of Coachella. But they actually have embraced it on a smaller scale too, where there's scavenger hunts during the festival, where if you find they bloom, the NFTs bloom, and they give you special perks. So whether it's access to a line, exclusive merch, free this, free that, whatever it may be. So they're really embracing this fusion between Web3 and music. And generally speaking, I feel like Coachella has always been one of the festivals to try and be one of the first to try new things, and they're usually very cutting edge. So it's been nice to kind of already have an appreciation for this brand. And then my role beginning so much to be blockchain and crypto, to see the fusion between the two has been so cool. And like I said, I do feel very lucky that Mason and I got one of them. So we leave tomorrow, and I will be sure to, you know, tell
Amazing.
everyone the experience. Yeah.
Report back, or I'll take.
I will. Yeah.
Or if there's a video clip, I'll share it. I'll share it
Yeah.
here as well. So just to be clear, did you buy it or you bought it?
There was a bidding process. Yes.
Oh, you bid on it. So
Yeah.
because I saw there was an auction there. Amazing.
Yeah.
And the thing that makes what you purchase so smart, strategic, quite brilliant, I might add, is that you've bought something. First of all, I mean, this producer key is like ridiculous. You
Really
know,
cool. Yeah.
I mean, who wouldn't want that?
Yeah.
But you've also bought it with a brand that is recognized.
Mm-hmm.
So Coachella's not going anywhere.
Hopefully. Yeah. That's the hope.
And NFTs are still in their absolute earliest and infancy, which means that at some point the NFT market will catch up. And you know, and should you choose to sell,
Mhm.
if you do choose, you're going to make one hell of a profit. And the reason why I bring that up, but you may not choose to. You may say it's a never-ending key. Why would I want to sell this key? Why should
Right.
it be about it? So it's one of the things that I'm experiencing now in the space as a creator with a coin in the NFT space, which is that's the never-ending part of it. You want an NFT so valuable that people will be like, not only am I never selling this, but I'm going to put it into my will to, like, you know, pass on to generations in the future.
Right. It really builds this sense of loyalty. I actually just last night there's another. I love all different kinds of music, but I definitely do love electronic music. And there is another DJ or producer, Gareth Emery. He's creating this very cool show, this like laser light show. And as I was looking at the tickets to just go regularly, I saw that there was an option for his NFT Black Card experience, which also gives lifetime access to any of his arena shows. So this concept is definitely getting adopted by people, at least in the music industry space. And yeah, I agree with the point. Like, I don't know if we ever really will want to sell it, but the option is there, you know, which is very nice. And it gives people the opportunity to feel like they're sort of like owners in whatever brand that they love, whether it's something like Coachella or it's the particular DJ like Gareth Emery. If I have one of his NFTs, I'm like, I'm contributing to his to his brand and everything. So it's very cool.
Alexander Finnan says, I love him. Great to know. And X Xander C says, NFT market will become even more popular with time. Still early, like you said, Jaffe. You know, Ali, I feel like you're a bit of the queen is a bit of a prophetess as well, because you know, philosophically, I should say, I see all these great frames that are building. One, we spoke about this idea of the journey versus the destination, the anticipation of something as opposed to the something itself, which could almost be an anticlimax. But then you said this idea of the option to sell versus selling. Just knowing that you have the option to sell, right? That you have the choice is actually quite reassuring. You know, if we think about life before creator coins and NFTs, when you bought something, there was never a market. There was never the ability to sell. So you felt almost trapped. You felt like like even buying membership in something. You could buy a membership to an association. You couldn't sell the membership. And it's the option that makes this so cool.
Yes, I have heard stories, you know, from people like they bought a membership to a country club or whatever it may be, and it's kind of a hassle, you know, to find someone to take over your thing. I mean, it's not like people haven't been able to, you know, sell memberships or whatever in the past once you've already previously bought it. But that's what I love about blockchain is it just makes all of this more efficient. I don't know if we will sell it, but the fact that we could, and it'll be done all through the blockchain. Those particular ones are on Solana. It's mind blowing. You know, like it's just we're moving into a more efficient world because of the options that blockchain should provide.
Right. I mean, you said it. You said it there. Efficiency, eliminating friction.
Mhm.
Those are the cornerstones of great startups for the most
Yes.
part.
Yeah.
But when you actually dovetail into the hassle of IRL, or at least the hassle of the way things were, it humanizes it as well. Like we should be explaining to people that NFTs are actually hassle free. They're reducing the hassle and the stress and the agita and the anxiety, of our day to day. So I really love the way that you express that. Now, connected to whether it's EDM or Coachella is something that's very that's interesting you, which is music. Um,
Yes.
I have to say that I do not think if we're early in NFTs, we're even earlier in the music industry in terms of figuring out what to do with NFTs. What
That's right.
excites you about the music NFT space?
Yeah, I am still quite new, admittedly, to this concept of music NFTs. I keep telling my community I'm going to become a music NFT wizard, but there's just so many things to learn when it comes to blockchain and crypto. So the prospect sounds very exciting to me. I'm not exactly sure the best way for the logistics all to really be had here. But the idea, it's the same thing sort of with the creator coin or the social token, giving the people that support you part ownership in your content. I would like to think that music NFTs, giving the fans of said artist or singer the ability to own part of what they produce is a wonderful idea. And I think, generally speaking, um, the current landscape is very difficult for up and coming artists to make a career off of their music, and even the established artists, things like Spotify. Like, I love Spotify for the convenience so that I can stream all my stuff, but on the back end of how much money that the artists make in relation to how many streams they need to make something is not not good. And I think that, we look at these industries of culture. We have gaming, we have music, there's Hollywood. You know, blockchain is going to have its big impact on all of those, and music is definitely going to be one of the biggest. So we're in the super early stages of all of this getting ironed out, but the one of the people that I look to the most for information about this is an electronic music producer, RAC. So he's definitely like my go-to. He has a lot of good points on the music industry and how Web3 can be incorporated. So if you're looking for more information, I would definitely start there.
I actually I'm so surprised that we have not seen more innovation and more adoption for the most part. And I have to say, like, to me, it's so obvious, right? I've also lived through even as a marketer, through the whole period with LimeWire and Napster and
Oh, yeah.
Morpheus, and and in fact, I worked with a startup that failed. I mean, I didn't work. I was hired by them. It was called Music Loads, which then became known as Spiral Frog, and their whole value prop was free and legal, as opposed to free and illegal, which was
Okay.
happening. Where you'd get, if you went to LimeWire or Morpheus at the time, what would happen is you could get viruses, poor
Yes.
quality, porn. I mean, there was a lot of problems with it as well. And so what they were saying is, what if it was free and legal and obviously ad supported, but they couldn't
Right.
get the music industry to play nice with one another. It's the story of the frog and the scorpion, right? It's in my nature. So I see something happening incredibly now, which is the ability to find your tribe, find your artist, and discover them in the early days,
Mm,
and not only be with them for the journey, for the whole journey, but actually be responsible for helping them grow. And if you think about it, why wouldn't you own a piece of that? Why wouldn't you now have a coin that gives you dividends for every stream and for every play and for every booking? It just seems so obvious. And with merch and first options on concert tickets, it just seems like this business plan, you don't even have to stretch yourself to write it down. I mean, I've just said it right now.
I completely agree. And it's funny because when I was younger, like music's just been my life. Like I went to my first concert when I was in the 5th grade. Concerts, it's my favorite thing to do, pretty much as a human. And I remember being in high school, and I was one of those kids that it was annoying. I was like, I found them before they were famous. I was totally the hipster that was like, one of the first fans, but whatever. And I remember thinking to myself, man, if I had just like been able to buy stock in Ed Sheeran before he became one of the most streamed Spotify artists, I would have made bank or whatever. But I had those moments when I was younger, and I watched a lot of these people grow, and I feel like if you have a talent for finding talent, that is also a really cool aspect. If you really believe in someone and think that they have the ability to get bigger, like someone actually said that. One of my moderators said that a couple weeks about me. They were like, I wish I was able to like buy stock in you and you when you were a smaller creator, because I always thought you were going to get bigger. And I was like, well, that's kind of the premise of what all of this Web3 stuff is about. So I completely agree with what you said.
Well, hang on a second, because now I'm seeing besides Xhaven saying Alley coin to the moon, which I completely agree with. Apparently, Iron Blue says you found One Direction first as well. Simon
I
Cowell,
did.
Simon
Yeah.
Cowell, you need your people to call Allie's people, for God's sake.
I watched them on X Factor. Like I saw the final show back in 2010, and then they went on to be like this. It's fine. But see how well my community knows me. They know. Thanks, Blue.
Well, I need the Red Queen to say I discovered Joseph Jaffe is not famous, and and
I love that.
just say the words, manifest it, put it out there, put it
Put
out.
it out into the universe. I love it.
I need it. I need it. But here's the thing about. I mean, if you look at your coin right now, it is still early. It is still early, and it's unbelievable to me that people kind of feel that sense. Oh, I'm too late, and I'm like, no, you're not too late. You're
Yeah.
just at the beginning. But there's something else that goes on, and this is a weird thing to talk about, like on air, because I feel like this is what's happening with these coins. You are essentially being able to get to become a part of the Ali Straza brand, the
Yeah.
Joseph Jaffe brand. And I know like it's a tough one. You have to like walk around on eggshells, and you can't, there's certain words you can and can't use. But the reality is that's really what's happening in a whole economy.
Yeah.
You're saying we're doing this together, and I agree, Alley to the moon. We need, like, there's nothing wrong with being able to say that, and I think we need to be able to kind of figure out a safe way to say that about bands, about brands, about humans, etc.
There is definitely some kind of, yeah, I completely agree with you. We need to come up with good language, because you don't want to say the wrong thing,
Yeah.
SEC, blah, 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 security, that kind of thing. But first and foremost, it's, I believe in this creator, I believe in this project, and I'd like to have ownership. And one, it comes with support. Buying a, specific person's social token or creator coin is beginning support, but then you also get the upside of, being a part of that individual's project or brand.
Well, speaking of which, you have a project,
Yeah.
and it's brilliantly named the Alley Cats Fight Club. So tell us about the project.
Yeah. So these Alley Cats, there's 500 Alley Cat NFTs, and they're actually made out of my real life cats. We have 3 cats, Poe, Willow, and Ty. And then my mom, who's also with us, has Mika, the Shiba Inu, which is very much a cat-like breed of dog. So we've got 50 Mikas in the pool, and the rest are the Willow, Poe, and Ty. And yeah, so we're making a play to earn game out of these Alley Cats. You'll be able to have your cat and play 3 fights a week, and if you win all of your fights, it'll be put into a a pool. You'll get a percentage of the treasury every week. We haven't come up with the exact percentage quite yet, but we are making this game. It's a simple game, but it's something to do with your NFTs, right? And that's what's really cool. It's like we're giving them utility, and hopefully it's a way to drive engagement. And we're actually collaborating with the Play Group, which is another creator coin on the Rally platform. So we're working with a developer from the Play Group to make this with us. And yeah, I'm really excited. They're fun. And I think that there's a significant portion of my community that feels attached to my cats already. So now you'll be able to, have your Willow, if you're a Willow fan or whatever it may be, and then, do something with the NFTs as opposed to them just like being a cool piece of art. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I like the idea of giving people some utility to use the NFTs for.
And fun, right?
And fun, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you even have a trailer for it.
Yes.
So let's watch that.
Sounds good. That's Poe.
A little softer so you can raise. These cats are fighters. I mean,
Well, there's 3 different attributes in the game. There's brawn, which would be mostly associated with our cat Poe. There's agility, which is associated with Ty, and then cunning with Willow. And that's supposed to sort of be Willow's not as much of like the brawny fighter, the fast one, but she's got trickiness up her sleeve. So that is the premise for the game. And yeah, we're still working on it. We actually have a meeting today. So an Alleycast meeting after this. So I'm excited.
Well, at the risk of having my kids roll their eyes, I'm just going to give somewhat of a dad joke and say this is not financial advice, but if you want to support and pick your alley cat, right, and decide who's going to win in this, 2 cats walk into a caged match, only one will survive and emerge. But anyway, enough of the dad jokes, and we'll move on. It's amazing what you're doing, and I think in a way you're also bringing your expertise in terms of this idea of play to earn gaming, right? Which is, and this comes back to the whole idea. This is the rethink of the business model, right, Allie? Which is the more, it's not just about buying and selling stuff. It's not just about the membership to the country club, the hassled membership. It's the more you play, the more you engage, the more you comment, the more you like, the more you participate, the more you actually gain. Because without your participation, who are we as the Twitch streamer and the host of the show? We're nothing.
Exactly, right? I mean, I need my community. The creators of the game need people to play the game. Why not reward people for participating? Like, I'd like to live in that world where, we can get rewarded for our engagement and our participation. And I don't know exactly the best structure, like how much it should be, but I think that is the way that the world will eventually head. And yeah, this is my first attempt to do a play to earn, simple game. And I'd like to, see what we do right, see what we do wrong, learn from it, and then hopefully create more in the future. But yeah, I think that this concept of rewarding people that are engaging will be applicable in all different industries and facets of life.
I always find a quote for my guest, and for you, clearly gaming would be a big part of it. And I found this quote that I think really, hopefully people watching understand a little bit more about the power of Twitch, that it's really not even so much about the stream and the game. It's more about the relationship. But this is the quote that I found for you. A game is the complete exploration of freedom within a restrictive
Ooh,
environment.
I love that.
Isn't that a great quote?
That's wonderful.
And
That's great.
and that comes from Vineet Raj Kapoor. You know what I loved about it is, Ellie, a lot of people say, think outside the box, right? And I say, no, like, don't think outside the box. Give me the box. I don't care how restrictive it is. I don't care how small it is, but just let me operate freely and liberally within the box, because I'll find a way to be creative, to be disruptive, to be innovative, and come up with a solution.
The thought that comes to my head when reading this is more maybe on an existential, physical, or philosophy train of thought. But there are certain rules within the game of life. Like there's physics. You can't really break physics. I feel like life, we're sort of living in the constraints of constraints of what reality is, and life, you are the character in this life, and you get to explore the freedom within the restriction of this particular reality. And I feel like like I said, maybe this is cheesy, but when they say the world's your oyster, that's really what we're doing here. And I don't know, that's what popped into my head when reading that line. So
and of course the fact that you really can transcend some of these laws in the metaverse and in this Web3 environment. Cool. So you can actually even suspend, you can bend time, even though time is our scarcest and most precious resource.
Yeah, love that. Absolutely.
So we're gonna take not a break per se, but actually you may know Whitney Lauritsen, who has the Well coin on Rally. Yes. Whitney was a guest on the show, and she actually became a correspondent. She sends in today's Wednesday, so it's Wellness Wednesday, and so she sent this vignette in, and it's very appropriate because it's all about Oculus. So we'll watch this, and then we'll spend the last few moments we have together. I wish we could pause time and spend more time with you, Allie, but we'll talk about your coin and where it's heading. So here is Whitney.
As part of my Web3 education, I borrowed an Oculus headset from one of my friends so I could experience how the metaverse is evolving. And I had a surprising side effect to that. Side effect is the right term. I downloaded a bunch of apps just to see what it was like to use the Oculus, and I found myself loving the fitness apps. In fact, I have moved my body more in the month and a half or so since I've been using this than I did months and months previous to that. That's because I have found the fitness apps in Oculus to be incredibly stimulating for my brain. There is so much variety in there. And I'm shocked at how much I sweat, the calories that I'm burning, and the fun that I'm having. I've been so motivated to work out. And I bring this up because sometimes we can get stuck and feel like it's really challenging to do something that's good for our health and well-being, like moving our bodies. But we can experiment to figure out new things that work for us and open our minds. Plus, find secondary benefits, right? So if you're exploring the metaverse or you've been thinking about it, if you have a VR headset like the Oculus, I encourage you to look for other things beyond the business benefits of it, beyond the more practical, obvious choices. If you have the Oculus, I highly recommend trying out Supernatural. That is my favorite app. I use it every day for at least 20 minutes to get my minimum movement per day. I've connected with their amazing Facebook community, which I didn't expect to do. So I feel like I'm having some interaction with real people in addition. And I've tried out a few other apps. If I can ever give you recommendations, please reach out to me. Another one is a martial arts / boxing app that's created by an amazing fitness trainer and a group of people that she works with. It feels like I'm in like a game / a real martial arts class, like an in-person class. It's really remarkable. There are apps where you can walk around various places around the world, like national parks in the United States, and you kind of march in place. There are apps that also work with equipment. If you have a bike, a stationary bike, for example, or a rowing machine like I have, you can put on the headset and row, and it looks like you're on a mine cart, for example, kind of moving through a mine. And it just like makes moving your body fun. It gamifies it. It makes it more interesting. And it really works for me. So if you haven't tried it out, check it out. And if that doesn't work for you, I encourage you to think of more ways that you can make movement fun. I have lots of ideas for you, but I'm going to leave you at that one today. Please reach out if you want some more specific recommendations on what I've been loving with my Oculus.
So that was Whitney Lauritsen, who has the Well coin on Rally, and of course on Rally, and Allie has the Allie coin. And if you want to find out more, you can just go to rally.io /creator/Allie. Allie, I almost forgot, which is the main reason that you're here. I mean, it's not the main reason. The main reason is we're hanging out together and having a good time.
Yeah.
is that you are going to be not just doing one, but 2 appearances at the Creator Economy Expo. I do want to let people know that, I mean, first of all, just to go and hang out with Allie and hear a talk should be enough. But if you need a little bit more incentive, if you use code Jaffe or NOTFAMOUS and you register, you're going to get $200 off your pass. And wait, there's more. You'll also get a walk-on role during a live taping of the show, which we'll be doing on the floor at the event. And wait, there's more. We're actually going to have drinks. So you'll get to have drinks with me, on me. And if Allie wants to, she can join as well. And drinks are still on me.
Absolutely. That sounds like that's some good perks right there.
I think so. And, you know, they should be able to buy an Allie coin as well, or, you know, to add it. But tell us about CX, because you're excited about going.
Yes.
And a lot of travel for you, obviously, in the next few weeks. Tell people what they can expect from your 2 appearances.
Yeah, so on the first day is the Rally Creator Day, and I'll be doing a sort of fireside chat just on the, you know, concept of moving an audience to a community. You know, how do you take your, you know, your fans or supporters and like build it more into a closer relationship that's a community, I would say. So that'll be on the first day, I believe at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, but I'll have to double check that. And then the second talk is actually, I'm really excited because Mason, my life partner, my business partner, my most trusted confidant, Mason and I will be doing the presentation together on the business model of social tokens. Mason has been in crypto with me for 5 years. He's a wizard with DeFi and all creator coins, NFTs, and all the things. And, you know, he's gotten to be with me through this entire journey of growing my social token and sort of doing a lot of the tokenomics and the business stuff on the back end. And so it's really been a joint effort, 100% between the 2 of us to grow Alliecoin. And so I'm excited to get to bring him on the stage with me and have us, you know, talk about this together. So that'll be, I think that's on the last day. That is on the 4th. And so those are the 2 talks that I'll be a part of. And yeah, like I've been to TwitchCons, I've been to BlizzCons, you know, very gaming centric conventions, as well as things like VidCon for YouTube. But I've never actually gone to a very like a specific creator economy that, you know, should go wide on podcasters, YouTubers, or whatever kind of creator you are. You know, you're going to get a benefit out of being at this Creator Economy Expo. And yeah, I just want to talk to other people and meet them. And, you know, I'm curious to see how many of them are in the Web3 space and embracing it. And I want to talk to them about that. So yeah, if you want to hang out with me, I'll be there.
Me.
Yeah.
I want to. Can I come? Pick me.
Yes. No.
I'm excited about it, and I actually think that, and I still again believe that we're like in the very very early stages. I'm very public about talking about it as well. That I'm trying to organize or reorganize now an entire very bold hold economy around not just my coin but around the show, and I think it really does come down to the fact that if you really believe. Um, in the people formerly known as the audience or the community formerly known as the audience. If they really are co-owners, well, then they have to co-own,
Hmm.
which doesn't just mean benefiting in terms of rewards. It means also benefiting in terms of recognition. And it actually means almost being an advisor as well, which is what guests should come on the show. And so like it, the line, which I'm going to be exploring fairly publicly, is how much control do you give up? How
Yes.
much how some people don't want to be active. They don't want to lean, and they want to lean back, and they want to submit, and they want to enjoy. So it's going to be interesting, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. Like, this is so the early stages of all of this. So, you know, structuring your as a DAO or whatever it may be, like there are going to be lessons that of like things that work, how much control do you give up? And we're all going to figure that out in this process because we are the early adopters of these new systems.
We are, and the thing about being a pioneer as well, especially a selfless pioneer like Ali is she believes very strongly in the power of education, and that's what we have to do. We have to pave the way for the people that come after us. And the reality is that, quite frankly, anyone even watching the show, anyone on Ali's stream that subscribed to her on Twitch, we're all part of the same pioneering team. And education clearly is the key. If you want to see some of the amazing videos that Ali's put together, where she really is educating in terms of what is a creator coin and how to really understand this emerging space, you can subscribe to her YouTube channel. I will just say that do not worry about all those letters, those alphanumeric letters, because I've just pasted that in the comments below. But I'm sure she's very easily findable as well. In addition to that, if you want to follow her, follow Ali Straza on the Twitter. Ali, how come somebody else took Ali Straza on Instagram? What the hell?
My community knows, it irks me to no end. It's an account with 0 followers, 0 posts, and following 0 people, and I'm just like, how can I just yeah. I need to like have a contact at Instagram or something.
Yeah, that would be
Yeah.
good luck. Good luck with Instagram / Facebook
Yeah.
/ Meta as well. We're gonna have to. If there's a petition that can be signed, this community will get behind it as well. Of course, join Ali's Twitch channel. There are hundreds of thousands of people that are part of this as well. You are now my role model, Ali, because I
Oh,
have 3,000 on YouTube, and
yay.
I'm not going to stop till I hit the second from the top, because you're the
I
top.
love it.
Uh,
I love it.
Join Ali's Discord as well. And I think that's everything. Oh, yes. Don't forget to, pick your feline hero and join the project. Have you started minting yet? Or is it?
Yeah, so the way that it actually works is we had you buy a cat crate. So it's kind of like a loot box. You don't know what you're going to get. And then we have a randomized structure of like whatever cat crate you bought, we put the 500 cats in, and then we've minted them already and have been sending them actively. So I think around 200 cats have been bought so far and have been sent to their owners. So it's kind of fun. It's like Willow, Poe, Ty, Mika, who are you gonna get? Of course, you'll be able to like if people resell them, you will be able to buy a specific one at some point. But right now, we're still in the sending off to people that have bought a cat crate.
All
So,
right. Well, I'm gonna have to go investigate which cat I want in the race.
yes.
Ali, enjoy Coachella. It's going to be amazing. Please report back and let us know. I will see you in Phoenix May 2nd through 4th. It's going to be awesome. And I can't wait to meet you IRL. Drinks definitely on me, you and Mason. And I think we have nothing more to cover except to find out what Chuck Norris had to say about Ali Straza, and this is what he thought about you, Ali.
You are Chuck Norris approved.
And I will see you maybe tomorrow with Dan Pink, hopefully, and if not Monday. Take care, everyone.
Really.
Thank you for watching the show about hope, positivity, optimism, and if there's time left over, a little bit of marketing with your host, multiple author, and global keynote speaker, Joseph Jaffe. If you like the show, tell a friend or two. Please subscribe to the show, and if you want to get inside news, previews of upcoming guests, and much more, visit josephjaffe.com/subscribe to sign up for the show's newsletter.
And despite the best ministrations of your wife, you still look ugly.